Okay, I want to talk a little bit about political violence in this country. I don't understand the audacity and the nerve that Trump, his administration, and his supporters have in saying the left, the left, the left, everything, all the political violence is from the left. To the point that there's active crime scenes from the FBI, and all they're focused on is taking photos of some of the evidence that they could pin it on the left or on Democrats, instead of waiting to see what the evidence says, instead of waiting to see what they find and putting their findings together, the evidence. Their first instinct, their motive right now is just to blame everything negative on Democrats. And I see suckers, I see all these MAGA jackasses still folding to that and still listening to it. Oh yeah, that was the left then for sure. You have this 29-year-old dude who shot at 3 detainees. You mean to tell me he missed every single time he was trying to hit an ICE agent? And this guy came from 4chan. You know how many mass shootings that stupid website or whatever server that is? It's a right-wing conservative, like an alt-right website. It's produced mass shootings. The guy in Buffalo, there was another guy at a church. They had deep ties in that 4chan discussion about white supremacy. And so did this shooter in Dallas that shot at the ICE. But what did they do? Right away, even if he did write anti-ICE on the bullet, the ones who knew him said that there was no way he would write something that he would really want you to know. He would have done satire. He would have done it on purpose to throw people off. That's the kind of guy he was. So if you do your investigation and you find out, hey, maybe this guy purposely wrote anti-ICE to throw us off as a joke, to screw with us. But look, he's shooting. What do the results say? Did he shoot at any ICE agent? He shot at detainees. I don't know if 1 or 2 of them died. I keep getting conflicted reports that 1 died and 2 died. I'm not sure. But the way J.D. Vance, Kash Patel, oh, this has to stop on our law enforcement. Oh, this has to stop. The ones doing all the damage. God damn it. The ones doing all the damage, the ones harassing people, the ones going after innocent people, the ones that rented these police academy rejects, these racist dudes off the street, freaking January 6ers and Proud Boys, to do this dirty work to racially profiled people, are the first ones to cry, oh, the political violence. It's so one-sided and so twisted that I don't understand how they're able to tell you something different than what your eyes are seeing, something different than what your ears are hearing. They just tell you something different and you go with it instead of what your own eyes are seeing. With all the political violence that Trump has caused up to this point, I think I know why he still has support. And some of the same people that I know that still want to support him. It is because they're so deep in their algorithms that any negative thing that Trump says or does, they see a reel that compares it to something a Democrat in the past or Biden in the past said, almost similar or not even similar. They just compare it, and that cancels it out for them. And they feel like, well, then it's okay then that Trump said this, and it's okay that he's doing this because they've provided me with an example. Oh, they did that too. Oh, they did that first. So it's okay then. I'm not going to let that deter me from supporting Trump. Is that more idiocracy or more hypocrisy? The fact that you could see so much wrongdoing, so much injustice, so much bullshit coming from that side, and the first thing you want to do is find a way to excuse it. Oh, hold on, here we go. I found a reel. And you see, you guys did it too. You guys did it first. Does that make it okay? Is that fine? Tell me one time. All Republicans did in Biden's term, he's weaponizing the Department of Justice. Look at what's going on now. This is weaponizing the Department of Justice. This is assigning the Attorney General of the United States to be your personal lawyer. They had the dirt on Trump for years. Merrick Garland didn't do anything until the last year about the falsifying business records with the porn star. They had the classified documents. He's on audio talking about the classified documents. He's on audio saying to find the certain amount of votes. He cheated. There was election fraud. There was enough fraud to take him to court, to indict him, and to give him years in prison, even though they would have never actually given it to him. But now look at what he's doing. So political violence, you say? Here's somebody that knows about political violence because he was attacked as a police officer in January 6th.
So there's been a lot of conversation lately about the normalization of political violence in this country. So I figured I'd chime in and give a friendly reminder. On January 6, 2021, thousands of Donald Trump supporters stormed the United States Capitol and assaulted law enforcement officers, myself included. They were held accountable, charged, convicted, and what did Donald Trump do? He fucking pardoned them. No American politician has done more to advocate for and in doing so normalize political violence in this country than Donald Trump and the right-wing MAGA extremist movement.
Exactly what he said right there. Who would know better than someone who suffered the violence of Trump and the MAGA extremists than someone that was there on January 6th? And what happened? January 6th transpired. For us on this side of the aisle that don't support Trump, we saw January 6th. We saw what his supporters did. We saw how he incited it. We saw how when they were attacking and breaking into the Capitol, he was having a party backstage in the tent with music playing with his family, watching it all unfold on TV. He was watching the cameras as it was happening. He waited over 2 hours before he sent his tweet. Oh, I love you all, blah, 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 whatever he said. But go home. And you saw that. You saw that transpire and you thought, oh yeah, let's vote for that again. He won't do it again this time. He'll be better this time. The only thing that was fortunate that he used to his power, that he used for his benefit, that the 4 years that he was not president, there was a young generation that grew out of COVID in the online world, getting influenced by podcasters and right-wing propaganda. And they didn't know the disaster that Trump was in his first term. Or they didn't know what he tried to do and wasn't able to do. Because those of us that knew what he wanted to do, he was going to get away with it if you gave him the chance again. Because in those 4 years that Biden was president, all the MAGA extremists were infiltrating positions in states and all these agencies and state departments to influence elections, to influence media, to influence government. They were infiltrating all those 4 years, ready to be aligned to when Trump calls on them. Let's go, let's do your work. I'm a Trump loyalist. None of your Trump supporters are loyal to the country. You're not loyal to the Constitution. If you're loyal to Christianity, you wouldn't be that much of a hardcore Trump supporter in the first place. And when I talk about conservatives, I'm not talking about conservatives from my church, from my fellow brothers and sisters. We're conservative by nature, by doctrine, by gospel, by God. We're conservative because we know what is right and what is wrong. Because we choose to live the life that God wants us to choose. We're not conservative because of a political party, because that's the name of a political party. That doesn't make you conservative. Oh, we still have to support the Trump movement because we're conservatives and we're religious and he mentions God and he mentions put prayer back in school. No, that doesn't make us have to vote for that side or even anything to do with that side, because they're not from our faith. Sure, they can talk about God. Sure, they can say, well, Christ is king. Christ is king. It's not what you say. And I'm sure we know that. It's not what you say. It's what you do. It's your actions. Those are always going to speak louder than words if you're a real Christian. Political violence coming from the left. They're so eager. They're so desperate. Oh, yeah, look at the left. Right away, the political violence is coming from the left. It's been coming from the right. Look at the stats. That's why they had to erase it off the website. Because the website says it's right-wing extremism that has been... And that's something that I talked about on one of my first podcasts, one of the first episodes I ever did. I mentioned how William Barr, the Attorney General in Trump's first term, they knew from the Department of Homeland Security that the number one threat was right-wing terrorism. And they swept it under the carpet. They kept it under wraps. Why? Because they didn't want people to know that, because it was his supporters. And now all we're living in use of propaganda. Anything that happens right now in the world, they try to make it seem like it's somehow leftist or Democrat. Like that shooting, that coach that got shot in the baseball field. They said, oh, look at these immigrants, should have never been here. They targeted an innocent man and they shot him. Turns out they were in a shooting range. They were training. And someone accidentally got shot from far away. It had nothing to do with an immigrant crime. It was not a purpose. It was not done on purpose, and right away they jumped on it. Right now you can't trust anything. You can't trust anything. It's all propaganda. It's all puppets aligned to give you the propaganda that they want. Political violence. MAGA is political violence.